Big Blue Rag. That's 3 G's, God's greatest gift. Yeah, man, and I'm from Duarte, California, Los Angeles County, the San Gabriel Valley.
Fuck you niggas feel, huh? Nigga, we still in it. Gangland, nigga, the Rocks did it. Keep it stitched, keep it solid to the core, nigga. Man down, it's a war, nigga. Keep it stitched, keep it solid to the core, nigga. Shoot a gang, press play, get some more, nigga. How you feel, it's a war, nigga. Turn the volume up, go and get a score, nigga. How you feel, nigga. I'm a gangsta, I'm a hawk, this shit is real, nigga.
Yeah, I think a lot of the outsiders view Duarte as first of all, a lot of outsiders ain't even heard Duarte is, you know what I mean, not even a known place. And then truthfully, majority of the notoriety that the city has received has been from the gang. Unfortunately, that it's been negative, you know what I mean? But it's a beautiful place, man. Small city, man. Pretty much everything that you need is there. You know what I mean? It's transitioned a lot over the years, like a lot of other places due to gentrification. Major cities like Los Angeles, so with the gentrification, a lot of things have changed, you know, versus from when I grew up versus toward Duarte now. But it's a beautiful place, man. You know, it's quiet most of the time. You know, it get a little rowdy every now and then, but it's quiet most of the time. Always well kept, you know what I mean? Nice looking, nice place, whole lot of restaurants, a lot of places to eat, a lot of places to go. You know what I mean? Family oriented, real big on sports. Everybody knows sports is a big thing. But the perception that I think that a lot of outsiders would see, probably that it's not really nothing going on there. Like it's just no man's land. People just pass it by all the time, you know, overlook it. So I think that's the most probably misconception, I would say, would be that, you know what I mean, it's really not nothing going on. And it's just like, it's just sitting to the side, ain't nothing going on. But it's a whole lot going on. You know what I mean? It's actually exciting. It's a beautiful place. I love my city. Yeah, the part of Duarte I'm from, you know what I mean, it's below the tracks. We call it the low end. From when you're going north and south, you're going from mountain to California. And then you're going east and west, you're going from Duarte Road to, like, I would say, Shrode, to like Shrode. That's the area that, you know, we call it the low end, and it's an unincorporated area. That's the area I'm from. And I got exposed to Crippin', man, as soon as I moved to Duarte, actually. Like, as soon as I came, I wasn't born in Duarte. I moved to Duarte at the age of 10. So as soon as I moved to Duarte and I checked in the elementary school that was located right across the street from the apartments that I lived in, you know, which was called Maxwell Elementary. I lived in the condos right across the street. So once I checked in the school and I met some people, I was exposed to Crippin' right then and there, Johnny on the spot. It was and I was immediately intrigued. And yeah, there was a wrap. I met my two friends. You know, I remember I had on a lot of red. I didn't know nothing about Crips and Bloods. I was from St. Louis, Missouri. And I had on a whole lot of red and black, and they was sweating me. They thought it was a blood or something. They was sweating me, and they was disrespecting Bloods and disrespecting the color that I had on and all that. I didn't know. I didn't even understand. We were just, you know, we were kids, but I was always, you know, always tough, always aggressive and fearless, rebellious. So I ain't never backed down. So we had a little scuffle kind of, you know what I mean? In which I initiated us three, and then we ended up becoming inseparable like brothers. You know what I mean? My best friends that I met, you know what I mean, which was Abram and One Time, you know what I mean, we called them Fats and Lowdown, dog. But yeah, and once I met Fats and Lowdown, man, and they basically introduced me, you know what I mean? They introduced me to my hood, you know what I mean? And once Fats took me around the older guys, because Fats' older brothers was already gangbanging, they was already from the set. So he was already, you know what I mean, intrigued. And he was born in Michigan, but he moved to the turf when he was about probably 2 or 3. So he didn't know nothing but Duarte, you know what I mean? You know, he came from the Midwest like me, but all he knew, he was born out here. He didn't know, all he knew, you know, he wasn't born in Santa Teresita like a lot of people from Duarte. But he came as about 2 or 3. I came at 10. That's how I got up on the Crippin'. I was born in 1975, and so Clearly, I wasn't there when it was originating my set, do Roc Crip, when it was becoming, established. I wasn't there. And like I say, I came to Duarte at the age of 10. So, we've been 10 years prior to that when I'm being born. So if you get all the OGs who were there when it started, but we got a few, and, it was like my OGs was like a Bumper Jack, Baby Reg, Ace Loco, C Knight, Horsey. That squad right there, that generation, that's where the Crippin' started. You know what I mean? From all of my research in my home, where you get all of them together, or they'll debate whether it was 78, 79, 75, 70. So we're gonna give it the window of 1975 to 1979. Nobody has ever debated that it was past 1979. I talked to my OG homie Bumper Jack because he was there, and he's there, and he's still living, and he just did a whole lot of time, and he just, and they just gave him his life back, from him having 3 strikes. So he was actually there. So from him saying, it was 1979. But you might have like his brother, and which is the OG homie Big Deke, his brother Big Crook. They were, they were right there as well. Even though, Bumper Jack was like that force, about that family pushing. But his family, they were all right there. They all, were all on Goodall. They all lived on Goodall. That's where it all started. We called it G Street back then. Now we just say the Ave. Because, homies like me looking up at the sign recognize that it's Goodall Ave and not Goodall Street. I actually even have Goodall Street tattooed on me. Because we used to say G Street. I got Goodall Street, I don't know what other homie was paying attention to it, but I know I was for sure. When I was young, I'm looking at that street, so I'm like, man, that shit Goodall Ave. Why we say G Street? So, it's G Ave, though. It's Goodall Ave. We call it the Ave or the G. And so they all grew up right there, we're going to say, mid-70s to late 70s, it was established, the Crippin', that we come up under the West Side Crip umbrella, Stanley Williams, we come up under that, so it was, it's the, the 70s, so, motherfuckers, it was moving around, and it was some West Side Crips. The Broadways we used to be out there in Duarte, up in Duarte and Monrovia. They had peoples up in Monrovia and shit. It was a whole lot of different sets that was out there, but no set never came out there and started. We all original, we didn't come, but we from what my OG homie Bumper Jack told me is and a couple more was basically that's how they got exposed to the Crippin', through the Broadways. Broadways was having their, they legendary, historic. They got historic, Whitey Enterprise. It's been plenty of stories about them, so y'all know about them and their history. So they was having money and shit. And as far as the Crippin' wise, that Bumper Jack told me that the Crippin' is how they got exposed to them, but nothing else. Everything else, all original was about us, So it just became low-end Crips. So it was West Side, of course. It was West Side Crips like everybody else. But as a set being established, it was West Side low-end Crip. West Side low-end Crip, Trey Times. 1979, officially established. Now, and then it emerged. Now, Do-Rock come from the nickname of the high school. Duarte High, they call it Do-Rock. That's just the teachers, the staff, they gave it the name, the sport facility. They had to end up changing it later on the year, the cheers, And we always said Do-Rock, It's like a sport thing, it's a lot of athletes from my hood, It's a lot of my hood, Do-Rock. The gang and Do-Rock, the high school, always had a close relationship, and we always had a lot of, athleticism in the hood. So, that goes. So that's where the Do-Rock came from the high school, from Do-Rock. Everybody migrated from the South in the 60s when they went to Rocktown, and that's near Duarte High. It's the set, It's, Rocktown moved all the way down to the unincorporated area, and that gave birth to the low end, and low end. That's where the low-end Crip came from, the gang, 1979. So it was actually 3 different hoods in Duarte and Monrovia that was all Crips. So it was Do-Rock, low-end Do-Rock on Goodall, G Street. Then it was Vista Block, which you go up Shamrock and up a couple blocks. Up 2 blocks, and then you get to Monroe Vista, in which we call Vista Block, VBC. That was a whole nother set. Vista Block Crip, Trey Times. And then it was M-Town Gangsta Crip, Trey Times. Eventually, we had to fight to, transition everything into Do-Rock being there because we was out, we didn't have no numbers. We were short, you got 1 block, 1 small. So we had to migrate And yes, but that's the history. Roc, the Crips, and Duarte and Monrovia. Yeah, my hood is the most known in my area, and man, well, shit. So I'm about some hoods that been around. Yeah, I spoke about one in one of my videos not too long ago. West Covina PBG. That was fully functioning in the '80s, the early '90s. They ain't around no more. They was fully functioning though. That just comes from, and it ain't the reason they ain't around from. It ain't like they like, you know what I mean, like lost any wars, or it ain't like nobody came and took their hood, or it ain't nothing like that. It's just when a lot of times when you got hoods like that just die off and shit, it people don't understand the importance of recruiting, man. People don't recruit anymore, bro. Like that's how them hoods fall off. Them hoods that be old hoods or they fall off, or it just be like 10 niggas around and they don't recruit. Having young niggas is important. When you all the hoods y'all see that's established and you got generation after generation, they always active and they always pushing, they always, you know what I mean, you always hear about them. That's because we understand the importance of the youth. You look for the youth. That's what the recruit is, because the youth is gonna keep it popping. We out here. Us that's the matured, we done got older. We ain't out here, I don't know, we can't be out here every day gang banging, you know what I mean, at our age and what we on. And plus, mentally, we not on that. So if we ain't gonna be doing, who else gonna keep the line pushing? We gotta have the youth. That's where the young come in. So once you start, son, a lot of hoods looked at it like, nah, man, fuck them new booties. We ain't putting nobody else on. We don't want no new. We gonna stay. So that's when you dying off, because y'all old motherfuckers ain't gonna be out there doing it. So, you know what I mean? When you got a hood like my hood, we understand the importance of recruiting. And then plus, my hood is a family-orientated hood. So when you family, that's why we got a hood that's like where it's generations, you know what I mean? Where you got you know what I mean? That's why you got historic hoods like A-Trade Gangsters, Rolling 60s, East Coast, Hoovers. That's why you got, you know what I mean, Bounty Hunters, Grapes, PJ Watts, Swans, Pueblo. Because them generations, that mean they got they sons, nephews, little brothers is from their hood. That's how it is with Harlem's. Like we original set like that to where it's gonna always be, bro, do rocks. You know what I mean? It's gonna always be like all my homies sons from the set. You know what I mean? They sons from the set. If I had a son, cuz would probably be from the set. That's just how that shit go. Not that we be, you know what I mean? That's what we be promoting to our kids, but that's where you grow up and that's what you see, and that's what your daddy doing, your uncles and shit, your older brother, your cousin. That's what everybody you know doing, and so that just happens. That's just like with everything. You a policeman, you just watch police officers, be a lot of police officers in the family. Somebody in the military, be a lot of different military people in the family. You know what I mean? Somebody in the medical field, be nurses and doctors, bro. You know what I mean? When you got a whole lot of Crips in the family, it's gonna be you gonna be more than likely you gonna be like a Crip from there or blood from here or wherever. You know what I mean? So that's just how it go, man. But so that's why my hood is historic, because we got generations. We got 7 generations of this shit, bro. You know what I mean? And shit, I done raised like 4 myself, personally. I done like groomed like 4 of them. You know what I mean? I'm talking from recruiting them to showing them everything, to, you know what I mean, to showing them how to do it, to, you know what I mean, to have anything they ever did was either with me, or I showed them how to do it, or I coached them through it, or all of that, man. I really got niggas off the porch, really got them niggas put on, really named them niggas, really got all that shit. That's me. I did that for about 4 generations. But they was gonna do, regardless if I was there or not, them 4 generations was gonna still be there. So I'm not taking the credit for them 4 generations that happened. I'm taking the credit on they gangsta, on how they push. I'm not taking the credit on for them gang. If I was here or not, them niggas was gonna be rock stars. They was born into this shit. That's just how it go. They dads from the set. They dads, they uncles. They dads, they uncles, they older cousins, moms, all from the turf. Of course they was gonna bang the turf. Where else they gonna be from? Come on, man. So that's just how that go. You know what I mean? So you know, but it was a lot. Y'all probably don't know about Angelo Mafia. They around, but you know what I mean. They ain't that deep. You know what I mean. They ain't that loud. You know what I mean. But it's man. You know you got shit. You know you got Dark Side Gangsters, Dulo Gangsters, and West Covina. You know what I mean. Shit like that, man. What else? Some smaller hoods, y'all. Oh yeah, the 200 blocks was pushing for around. You got 200 blocks. That's a small hood that ain't, you know what I mean. That ain't really like fully functioning like that. You don't hear a lot about. You know what I mean. 200 block. You got 200 block San Dimas. Yeah. 200 block. They used to be Villain Crip back in the day. You know what I mean. a 400 block, Covina Hustlers. You got, you know what I mean? There's some little hoods, man. There's probably some more. Nap Gang, NAP, niggas always pimping. That type of shit, Pomona, that, you know what I mean? You got shit like that. That shit kind of died. That shit died off. That was kind of like functioning for a while. What other some smaller hoods that a lot of people. Oh, Evil Side. You got Evil Side in Pomona. Evil Side again. You got Neckland Gangsta Crib. Yeah, that's probably about it. That's pretty much about it. That's pretty much about it that I can think of. Yeah. Yeah, what's the name? They like borderline. Some of they borderline, but some of the 4th Street Hustlers and some of the like Ontario hoods and shit. They kind of like some of them is push SGV, but that's the IE. But that's right there. That's just like borderline. That's right there. They right by Pomona. They function with a lot of, you know what I mean, the homies and the Pomona homies and shit. We run into each other a lot. You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, like I spoke on, you know what I mean, on the last question. Yeah, the gentrification, you know, changed a lot of things, and that, you know, that forced everybody to move east, you know, which is east for us is towards San Bernardino. You know, we off the 210 freeway. For those that don't know, you know, Southern California and don't know Los Angeles area, and but when we go east, you know what I mean, we going, you know, that's Pomona and then Montclair, Claremont, all that going all the way to San Bernardino, you know, Rialto, San Bernardino, go east. We keep going east. And everybody's going out to the IE and going, you know, up the hill, what we call up the hill, which is, you know, the high desert area, you know, Apple Valley, Victorville, all that area, you know what I mean? So with everybody now being located out there, it's a very small population of blacks in Duarte. So, you know, I represent the communities of Duarte and Monrovia, you know what I mean, which we call Roc, low end and high end. But yeah, Duarte and Monrovia, it was always a population of blacks, and it still is. Of course, not as much as it is because of gentrification, just like everybody else community. Well, at this point, I don't think people find it hard to believe, or that, you know what I mean, that we pushing the line in my area, that we banged out in my area. Because I mean, not at this point, because it's Crips and Bloods worldwide at this point. So. You know what I mean? They banging everywhere. New Zealand, Africa, you name it. You know what I mean? Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Ain't nowhere in the world you ain't gonna go. You ain't gonna see blue and red rags. So, yeah, I don't think it's so much that people are shocked or whatever, but they might underrate or overlook us, or underrate, or, you know, be thinking, you know, but us being in the valley, not being smack dab in the city, being on the outskirts of the city, and being in the valley. And being in, you know, this an area that's like traditionally like family oriented and quiet, like for a lot of nice residential areas around there, like, you know what I mean, a lot of suburbs around us, you know what I mean. So yeah, I can see a motherfucker having a misunderstanding or you know, misinterpreting or whatever, or prejudging on something like that. But I don't think, you know. Cripping the blood everywhere. You got, you know, they banging everywhere. Now, I might not know to the extent how we've been banging, you know what I mean? But we've been making the papers, man. We've been making the papers, been making the news over the years, and a lot of homies and had life sentences and a whole lot of time. Like me, a lot of homies been in and out of prison doing a whole lot of years on them yards and respected and known, you know what I mean, for pushing the line. So at this point, everybody know, they already know what it is. And then, you know, some people might not ever been out there yet, or might still overlooked it, and they might just don't know the details, but they know that everybody know at this point the Roc Crips is active. Yeah, we activated, you know what I mean? We been here, we gonna stay here, we ain't going nowhere, and we ain't backing down to nobody. Everybody know that by now, I'm sure. Yeah, at this point, man, you still sleeping on Duarte and Monrovia? Damn, you need to wake up. But it's still a few out there still sleeping on Duarte and Monrovia, man. You know what I mean? The place we call Roc, DUROC, man. You know, man, we just like I say, man, we like a lot of. If you take away the whole gang, like if you just take away the whole gang aspect of it, and just take away the whole Roc Crip, just take Roc Crip out of the vicinity, and we just still talking about the place. Duarte and Monrovia, which is, you know what I mean, the place Roc. Take the gang out of it. Let's take the gang out of the scenario for a minute. It will still be the same, everything that's going on. Us being a gang, being Crips, didn't change nothing about what we do. You know what I mean? Nothing about nothing that we got going. You know, we still do all the same thing. You know, there's a lot of like sport related events going on. A lot of family functions. Always something going on every weekend, man. Somebody got a barbecue or so there's always something going on. The set was pretty much built on a graveyard. You know, we got Live Oak Mortuary smack dab in the middle of the set. You know what I mean? So with that you know, that right there, I guess a lot of things is original because all our people, like 90% of our peoples who are deceased, they buried right there. You know what I mean? So they buried right there. You know what I mean? And we function. We be in the graveyard. We kick it in the graveyard like motherfuckers, like it's normal. Some people scared to be in the graveyard, and us, it's a normal thing. So that's something that's very unique. I don't know no other hoods like that. You know what I mean? So a graveyard, Live Oak Mortuary, we liable to just go over there and just, you know what I mean, just chill with our dead. That's for no regular, just for nothing. They don't got to be no certain. That's just normal. You know, we do that. You know what I mean? So shit like that, you know what I mean? That's something that's very unique. Yeah, but like it's always something to do, man. Like I say, every weekend is something to do. Motherfuckers real hard working. Small town mentality, southern mentality. All our grandparents from down south and shit like that. So, you know, we got them southern roots, and we still got a lot of that, you know, that good homegrown type of tough love and shit. You know, we was raised like that. You know what I mean? So our southern roots is something that we kept strong ties to our southern roots. Just like a lot of, like I would say, an area like Watts. I noticed Watts is a lot like that, Compton and Watts. We got our ties to our roots is why we always stay strong. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always over the South. I'm standing in the South right now as we speak, matter of fact. That's why that's what, you know what I mean? We be everywhere. So that's how we end up migrating to the South, because we always kept those connections to the South. We all got family in the South. So when we ain't never disassociated. So yeah, that's kind of unique like that. It's kind of like country, you know what I mean? We got, you know, our little mini market in the set called the country store. You know, you got shit like that, you know, like, so it's kind of country. You got some blocks that don't even got sidewalks, you know what I mean? You might not even see no grass somewhere. You might just see dirt. You might think you in the country, you know what I mean? So Duarte is kind of like a country place too, you know what I mean? So with that being said, small town, southern roots, tight knitted, bro. Tight knitted. It's rare that something big explode to where like we'll be falling out with one another when we have a little misunderstandings and whatever happened, even stuff, you know, whatever happened, we didn't have little internal beefs and all that. It never gets out of hand, and it never keep going on because of the family, or because we all know each other's family, bro. And we all grew up around each other's families and each other, and it's a real thin line, bro. So a lot of shit gets nipped in the bud through family members with us, man. I would like to say community verse. That's why I said we're gonna take the gang out of the scenario, because I don't want that just to be having that stigma. Like gang, because we think gang, you think negative. And the negativity is really a small part, man. And when it comes to this gangbanging shit, it's the camaraderie, man. It's the loyalty. When the ones who are loyalty, it's the commitment, man. It's the being a part of something that's bigger, you know, bigger than yourself. It's that part, man. The violence is a small factor that happens, and if it happens with anybody. But when you put gang on it, like, oh, a gang, that's all they do is they go shoot people and beat people up and hurt people. But that's not what we wake up every day and think about doing, bro. We live in our regular life like everybody else. It just stuff happens and it evolves into violence. But yeah, so that's it, what it is. We more of a family than anything, man. That's what Roc is. We family, man. We all family. We all know each other, grandmamas and aunties and mamas, and we then pretty much mostly all related one way or another anyway. So we're family. That's what Roc is. That's what we original at. We're family. That's the brand, man. That's the brand, man. That's the movement. That's my movement. Fuck with it, man. Tap in.